Liv Morgan just added a lot of new layers to her storyline with the Judgment Day, so we'll see what's up there. We'll also check out what's going on with Dominik Mysterio, Finn Balor, and more. Starting things off with probably the hottest storyline in all of Raw right now, and that's the situation between Liv Morgan and the Judgment Day. For months now, Liv Morgan has been spotted with the Judgment Day members backstage, a clear indication that something big was to come. And we finally saw the big moment a few weeks ago when Liv Morgan kissed Dominik Mysterio to send Raw off air. And that moment was a pretty big payoff for all the Liv Morgan and Dominik hints. It might have been even bigger than WWE was even expecting, because they reported themselves that the Liv Morgan and Dominik kiss received over 50 million views across all their platforms. It's not every week where WWE segments are pulling in 50 million total views, so it surely was a big accomplishment for that big moment. So coming off that viral Raw moment, it only made sense for Liv Morgan to open up the June 3rd edition of Raw and get into details about what she was up to. Liv mentioned her impressive run so far that included putting Rhea Ripley on the shelf and shipping Becky Lynch into early retirement. She spoke about how kissing Dominik Mysterio was the special cherry on top of all of that. Dominik came out pretty fast to interrupt Liv Morgan. Fans even noticed that Dominik was wearing his wedding ring. Dominik said he didn't know what game Liv Morgan is playing, but that Rhea Ripley isn't playing the same one and will come back to destroy Liv. Liv implied that Dominik would also be destroyed by the time everything was all said and done, but that she'll make everything worth it in the end. Liv told Dominik that he didn't come out the week prior to help Becky Lynch, that he came out to the ring just to be closer to her. Liv backs Dominik up into one of the turnbuckles and reveals that when she said she was taking everything away from Rhea Ripley, that very much included Dominik himself. Finn Balor comes out to the ring to try and save Dominik from the psychotic Liv Morgan, and tells her that Dominik and the entire Judgment Day wants nothing to do with her. Liv said that she'll go for now, but rubbed Dominik Mysterio's hair on her way out of the ring, clearly indicating that she's not done with him at all. And Liv really wasted no time at all coming back into the picture later on in the show. Dominik Mysterio tried to attack Braun Strowman, and Strowman was ready to chase Dominik down and make him pay for it. But that's when Liv Morgan appeared to step in the way and save Dominik from Braun Strowman. This moment is Liv Morgan paying Dominik back for those few instances where he saved her over the last few weeks. Dominik helping Liv both win the title and retain the title were all seen as unintentional, but Liv saving Dominik here in this moment was actually very intentional. She wanted to save him and accomplish that goal. After all that was over, Liv once again approaches Dominik Mysterio very seductively at ringside, and once she has Dominik's back against her ring apron, Finn Balor appears to jump in between them and once again stop Liv. So that's everything major that happened in the storyline, and it's a lot to break down. A lot of fans are comparing Liv Morgan's current character work and story to 2012-2013 AJ Lee, because there's a lot of similarities there. AJ Lee was a psychotic character, especially in those few years, that was unpredictable, impossible to read through her actions, and was stuck between constant love triangles and tough situations that revolved around her. And it appears that's exactly where 2024 Liv Morgan finds herself at. Liv is very purposely throwing herself in between Rhea and Dominik to try and forcefully create a love triangle here. Not only is she trying to create a love triangle, but the character itself has definitely become borderline psychotic and very manipulative. You can argue that Liv is a tweener, but judging by her new scary traits and characteristics, it's clear that she's about to be a full-blown heel any week now. So Liv made the big reveal that she wants Dominik Mysterio, but like Pat McAfee and others said, there's no way so far of knowing what Liv's genuine feelings are towards Dominik. She made it very clear that she's only getting involved with him at the moment because he's connected to Rhea Ripley. And since she obviously wants to make every part of Rhea's life a living hell for her, that means she needs to take Dominik away from her. So everyone wants to know that if Dominik had nothing to do with Rhea Ripley, would Liv Morgan still be as crazy for him? Or would he be completely out of her revenge plan at that point? Obviously, at the moment, it doesn't seem like genuine interest from Liv to Dominik. It seems like her plan is to be seductive and manipulative as possible in order to get Dominik to slip up, either admit that he likes her or have him do an action for her that shows it as well. And Liv will probably go with it for a while if Dominik makes a move. She'll play it out possibly all the way until Rhea comes back, and once all the destruction of Rhea and Dominik's relationship is done, Liv could probably just toss Dominik away like a toy that she got tired of playing with. Dominik is clearly just a pawn in her much bigger game, so that would be a part of her plan, just tear out and break Rhea's heart. But on the flip side, fans wonder that maybe it does start off as being manipulation, but what if somewhere along the way, Liv and Dominik both genuinely fall for each other? That could be one of the biggest on-screen heel couples in WWE right now. Fans are also keeping an eye on Finn Balor and his potential role of maybe making this into a love square from a love triangle. Liv and Finn have some history together from 2022, when they teamed up with AJ Styles, strangely enough, to take on the original version of the Judgment Day back then. So the history is there, and Finn and Liv, they were seen meeting with each other in recent weeks, potentially for a conversation of some sorts. So fans are very curious to see if Liv Morgan has gotten through to Finn Balor with her manipulative ways. Who knows what Liv promised Finn Balor or spoke to him about? Maybe it was an offer that if he helps her with the current Dominik situation, maybe she promised to help him take over the Judgment Day and more. Maybe Finn Balor's weak spot is the World Heavyweight title. Finn was on a mission last summer to finish the story and win the world title from Seth Rollins, but it didn't happen, mostly due to the fact that Damian was causing some distractions with his Money in the Bank contract. So maybe 1 year later, Finn still hasn't forgotten about Damian costing him the world title a few times, and maybe Finn's eyes are still locked in on the world title. What if Liv convinced Finn that they can take down the Judgment Day together, and how she'll help Finn get that world title off of Damian Priest? If their deal was something along those lines, Rhea and Damian would be out of the group. Finn Balor would be the top dog and leader of the Judgment Day, and he'll obviously grant Liv Morgan membership to the group after helping him finish his story. So all of that could be in play as well. Liv's plans and motives are obviously much darker and deeper than she's revealing at the moment. On the surface, maybe she's just making it seem like she's doing some innocent flirting with Dominik Mysterio, but behind the scenes, who knows if Liv Morgan is really working with other members like Finn Balor on a big grand scheme to take over the whole entire group. So that's what we have to keep in the back of our minds. Liv's plan could be much larger than what she's revealing on the surface. But what are your thoughts on today's stories? Leave your comments below. Don't forget to subscribe with all notifications on, and leave a like if you enjoyed. Thanks for watching, guys.